Hey guys, and here's your update on the whole YouTube hacked account issue. So, YouTube has contacted me a few times, and for each time they have responded to me, it has taken like several hundred tags from either like my followers or myself, and just like incessantly responding to the threads on Twitter where they're replying to other people about problems like, hey, I can't change my avatar, and then they respond within minutes of the tweet being posted. But they've been ignoring all of my tweets unless I literally harass them. So, anyways, they've been in contact with me a few times. They've sent me the same instructions that have been listed on their account recovery page that are listed in their frequently asked questions right there plainly on the front page. So, obviously, I've done all of that. That was the first thing I tried when I realized my account was hacked. And this whole time, I've been telling them, hey, the account recovery doesn't work. It's not letting me in because it says that my phone and computer are both devices that are unfamiliar, and that for my protection, they can't let me log in. But luckily, the hacker never had any of these alerts come up, and I never got a notification saying that my account had been accessed by an unfamiliar IP or that the password had been changed. So luckily for the hacker, they kind of just decided that foreign logins are a-okay so long as they're from the Middle East and not in the country I live in. Anyways, so the hacker got in easily, and then my devices that I always use to go on YouTube get flagged every time I try to go in. It says try again later, or basically you're screwed because you can't fill out the one account recovery option that they have. This is like the only real means of doing it, and even in their community where people have literally had the same problem and asked about it, the Google specialists that reply basically say like, hey, like that sucks. If you can't fill out the account recovery, consider making a new Google account, which completely discredits the fact that people have highly personal information on their email accounts, and not everyone's going to just want to give it away, even if they're not making a profit from it. It's just ridiculous. So anyways, today I've been tagging them all day because they sent me a new form that was like, hey, if account recovery isn't working for you, use this form to get in, and then you'll get a confirmation email with a case ID, and you'll send that to us. So I did the form. I waited. I didn't get a confirmation email. So I messaged them and I'm like, hey, like I filled out the form and a confirmation email isn't coming. They didn't reply, so I kept tagging them, and I filled out the form 3 more times. Talked to them again and was like, hey, like, it's still not here, the confirmation email. And then they were just like, check your spam folder. And I was like, I already did that, but I'll check again. Still not there. Again, wait like another several hours before they reply. And then they're like, oh, like, if you haven't gotten it yet, fill out another form again. So I fill it out again, use 3 different emails to see if it's the email that's not working. I've filled it out a total of like 8 times at this point. And I keep refilling it, trying to see if I'm going to get a confirmation in like email while I wait for them to reply. And then most recently, the reply that really pissed me off is the recent reply was like, hey, like sometimes it takes 24 to 48 hours to get the case email with the case ID number, even though they had initially told me to watch out for it like right away, and telling me to check my spam folder and fill out the form again to me implies that it's supposed to come right away. So now they send me that and they're like, okay, thanks for being so patient, like be patient. And like the customer service honestly seems like it's either a bot replying or they have several different people replying, and not all of them are even reading the conversation, because for the last 3 days, like every response I got from them was sending the link to the account recovery, which I cannot do. And in my first email to them, I specifically said, hey, I cannot use regular account recovery because it will not let me get past typing in my email before it says I'm logging in on an unfamiliar device. So at this point, I have probably said that to them over 10 times, and I've sent them photos, and they still send me that link over and over again. And then today was the first time that it changed to something slightly different, and it still doesn't work. So I just wanted to share this because I'm really pissed off that Google owns YouTube. It is such a huge company. They can afford to have better customer service. It's completely inexcusable. They only have a live chat option for their G Suite customers. And for those of you who don't know, G Suite is like their Gmail, basically, that's for like business domains. So my email on my website, like my personal website, that like my email is like shelby@milestoneequestrian.com. That's my website email for that personal website. That's through G Suite. So right when my account got hacked, when I couldn't find any way to contact anyone from Google, like they make it impossible to find a contact form on their website, and I'm sure that's intentional. So when I couldn't find anyone to contact, I was panicking, so I went on the G Suite live chat. and told them my problem, was really upset. I said, like, I get that this is like a paid service for G Suite through my domain, but I'm also earning you guys money through AdSense, and you have all of my banking info on there, whereas my G Suite doesn't have any of that on it. So honestly, that email is kind of less important if someone were to hack into that one, because they wouldn't get anywhere. So anyways, the lady on G Suite, like, basically said she couldn't help me and that I had to contact Gmail. And I was like, how am I supposed to contact Gmail? How am I supposed to contact YouTube? Like, is there any contact email? And she just said, like, oh, like, here's the link to the frequently asked questions. The same thing where it says, do this, do that. And then you go to, it takes you to account recovery. And if you can't fill that out, you're screwed. So G Suite was useless. Even though it's like the only live chat option for them, there's no easy way to contact Gmail. There's no easy way to contact Google. There's no easy way to contact YouTube. Initially, YouTube had told me to use the creator service to file a report. And I was like, hey, only people in your YouTube partner program can use the creator service. And my only account that is in your partner program has been hacked. So how am I supposed to do that? The next email after that said the same thing. And then eventually they started changing to sending me the account recovery link. But basically, all in all, the customer service is abysmal. Like, to put it in perspective, I have a MySpace account that I made probably a decade ago and have not used since. I did not even know it still existed. That one got hacked the same time as my YouTube account, and they blocked the login and sent me an email immediately about a foreign login, and also saying that someone had attempted to try and change my password. That's MySpace. MySpace is making way less money than Google. I can guarantee you that. And somehow they managed to not let the hacker get into my account, but my YouTube and Gmail with two-factor authentication and a secondary email that they're supposed to email if the password's ever changed or attempted to be changed, they got through that with absolutely no notification of it happening. And to be honest, there's a ton of spam comments on YouTube right now. There's a ton of spam emails being sent to YouTubers that are trying to get them to install software or do things so they can hack their accounts. It is rampant. When I went through my spam folder today to look for the confirmation email I never got, I literally had 10 emails that went in the spam folder that were all from like hackers trying to get you to click the link and like do this, do that. And all of them were to the email that I have on my YouTube channel for business inquiries, which luckily is not the one that got hacked. It's my G Suite email. So all of the emails of people trying to hack me were going through there repeatedly. And there's also people in comments that are clearly bots that are making comments, and apparently those are hacking people. So it's an issue that's happened a lot. I've seen a lot of people recently say they've been hacked. Not all of them have even been helped. And the only people I've ever really heard about getting their account restored in a somewhat timely manner are the ones that have like millions of followers. So YouTube actually cares because they're losing more revenue from those people. But they're making a ton of money. They take a way larger cut of the ad costs from what I earn them through ads on my videos, and I can say the same thing for other YouTubers. And on top of that, with Gmail and like Google Photos and stuff, that contains highly personal information, even if you don't have your banking info in there because you don't have an AdSense account. They could have photos, they could have like credit card transactions, they could have like personal emails to like lawyers and stuff, like stuff that no one else is supposed to see, like private confidential information. Email accounts are filled with that. And then you go to Google Photos, they could have personal photos on their Google account that could be getting leaked that have important information that's not supposed to be leaked. You could have important information related to projects that's not supposed to be leaked and is like if you sign a confidentiality agreement for anything, you could have photos for those projects that get leaked because someone hacked your account and they didn't deal with it. It took them probably 15 to 18 hours before they disabled my account from the hacker. And this was even with me repeatedly messaging them, sending them reports if I ever found somewhere to send them. And some of the emails I sent reports to, I don't even know if they're real emails. They're just ones that I tried anyways because it's impossible to find contact information. But anyways, like the Gmail accounts and all of the accounts on Google are very likely to contain highly personal information, even if they don't have their banking details put in. Like if you've had a Gmail account for however many years, I've had mine for like 8 years. I've had Gmail accounts on and off. I have like 3 that I use. So like I've had a lot of interactions with people that go through there that have information that you don't necessarily want some random person having access to and seeing. And in having the accounts that easily hacked and taking so long to be disabled, they have access to all that information. They could be deleting important documents, they could be accessing important photos, and they could be deleting priceless information that you'll never recover because you trusted it to be on the Google Cloud and you trusted your two-factor authentication to not do you dirty and let some random dude into your account. So as you can tell, I'm very pissed off. While they have been in contact with me, I feel like it's completely useless and it's just been so ridiculous. It shouldn't have taken them 3 days to send me a form that's an alternative for account recovery, because on the first day, I made it pretty clear that account recovery was not working for me. Otherwise, I would have done it ages ago, because obviously I want to recover my account. So it's still not working, even though it says try again later. I've tried again later every single day, several times a day for the last few days. It hasn't worked. So at this point, I'm pissed. If I get the account back, like, I think I'm gonna have to look for an alternative to AdSense, because I don't want my money going to Google. And yeah, like, it's just so ridiculous. There's no excuse for a company this big to be having this many problems with customer service. It's completely inexcusable. They have more than enough money to hire people to like respond to people better. They could make their websites way more accessible than they are, and they could have more contact forms. Like, to put it in perspective with Instagram, which still isn't great for reports, but like, I've reported copyright infringements for when my photos are stolen, and they deal with those like within 12 hours, even though like that's way less important than something with my banking info and other highly personal information. So anyways, I'm hoping that they'll deal with it, because at least they've sent me something to try and deal with it. But I'm really, really frustrated about how hard it's been, and I'm really, really frustrated with the lack of customer service for such a big company that should have it together. And this has been something that's been going on for years, because I've tried to contact Google before for like other less important things. They are impossible to contact. This has been a problem for years. And for the hacked accounts, it's also been a problem for years. On their account, for the account recovery page, it literally says underneath of it, if account recovery doesn't work, consider making a new account. And the fact that they have that attitude towards it, instead of saying, hey, if account recovery doesn't work, contact our customer service line immediately and we'll deal with it, because people could be getting into your banks and releasing highly personal information. Like, if someone hacks your Gmail account, depending on to what extent you use it, people could use it to completely blackmail you if they find confidential things that you're not supposed to release. Like, if you've signed any confidentiality agreement, anything related to work that's on there, they could use that to blackmail you. They could take photos off of it to blackmail you. It's a pretty fucking serious thing. Excuse my language, I'm pissed off. Anyways, there's literally no reason why they couldn't have a contact form that's easier to access. They don't even need to have a phone number there. They could just have an easier means of contacting Google support, and they could have a better means of organizing it so that you don't have to repeat the same thing over and over again every single day, several times a day, only to get the same solution offered to you. So basically, guys, protect your accounts, because if you lose them, YouTube and Google do not care. I think the only reason I've gotten a response is because I've been really annoying. I've been replying to every thread that they go to help someone else on and saying like, hey, thanks for releasing my banking info. Really appreciate it. Hope the hacker enjoyed my banking info, and doing stuff like that. And I think it's annoying them. And I've also had lots of followers tagging them. But obviously not everyone has the same level of access to piss them off that much and to harass them that much. And it should never be a situation where you have to tag their freaking Twitter account to get through to a company. Like, that's completely and utterly ridiculous. It is so unprofessional. And like, I'm not saying that Twitter service would be a bad thing to have in addition to other things, but for a company this big to have that as like the main means of being contacted is just so inexcusable. So I'll keep you guys posted, because I'm obviously still trying to get my account back, because I really want all the photos I had of George from when I first got him that are literally only on that account. And it's also one of my main email accounts. So anyone that's been trying to contact me for business stuff could have potentially contacted me through that account, because it's one of the ones I used on and off for Instagram until I got the G Suite one. So it is still one that I use to contact people. And like, even without that, like literally just the Google Photos alone, even if I wasn't part of the ad program, even if my bank info wasn't on there, that is such a huge invasion of privacy to have someone get in there and then have no ability to really have anything done about it for days at a time. Like, people that are less annoying than me have literally waited like months, weeks, days and days before they get a response from YouTube. And like, that is so ridiculous. So anyways, that's my rant for the day. I'm really pissed off. The last time I tried to contact Google or YouTube was several years ago, and it was on one of my old accounts to dispute a copyright claim. And that claim from 5 years ago is still in review, if that puts into perspective how shitty their customer service is and how slow it is. So YouTube and Google, this is at you. Like, get it together. This has been a problem for years. People have let you know a billion times at this point. It's been big creators, small creators, all sorts of people that have been hacked. You have a huge problem with like phishing scams on your website and people contacting through your contact forms on your website to try to hack people's accounts, as well as commenting in the comment section. And to my knowledge, you've not addressed that, even though it's been something that's happening more and more over the last few weeks. And I'm pretty sure you're supposed to let us know if there's a security breach issue. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that's something that legally you're supposed to do. And since my main YouTube channel isn't accessible right now, I'm not sure if you've sent something since, but as far as I knew before that, you just sent out a pretty like ambiguous email talking about two-factor authentication and how you should set it up. And I'm guessing that's connected to the fact that you know there's more people being hacked. But instead of saying, hey, we're having a lot of hacks happening, make sure your account is like Fort Knox, otherwise we're just gonna let the hackers in like through an open unlocked door to go fuck with your stuff. Like, maybe if you know that hacks are happening, you should warn people, because they'll take it more seriously to get their shit together and get all that stuff safe so that people can't get in. But anyways, needless to say, even with my phone number attached, another email attached, and I also think I had a third email attached on that one. I had 3 other means of being contacted on that email, and they got in without anything being sent to me. If I hadn't had people tagging me on Twitter about it and messaging me on Instagram about it, I literally would not have known my account got hacked until I tried to log into it later in the day, which is completely and utterly ridiculous, especially since my password was changed. Usually when your password is changed, they send it to the secondary email or they send you a text message. When I changed my other Gmail account's password, I got an email about the password change to my secondary email, but not with my other one, my more important one with my banking information. So anyways, I am pissed. I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to keep tagging them and saying things, because it's just, the customer service is abysmal, and I will be the loudmouth, annoying person that like other smaller accounts than me can't be. My account's still small in the grand scheme of things. They don't care about my 50,000 followers. They don't give a shit. They don't care that I'm not getting my payout that I was supposed to be using to buy important things that I need in order to live. Anyways, they don't care, because I'm small. I don't make them that much money. And then they have creators like Shane Dawson and stuff that make them bank. Guaranteed, if Shane's account ever got hacked, they would be on it in like a millisecond. There's no way that they would just be so lackadaisical about people like that, because they make them so much money. And those people also probably have firsthand contacts that they could call immediately to have that type of stuff dealt with. But everyone else doesn't even have an email, let alone a phone number that they can contact. So that's where it's at right now. I'm really upset. So if you guys want to keep tagging them on Twitter and Instagram, by all means, harass them, because this isn't even just for me. There's a lot more people being hacked. I've seen them in the YouTube mentions. Lots of people referencing the fact that their account is inaccessible. Same thing where they can't get in through account recovery. Some of them have way smaller accounts than me, and nothing is really seeming to be done about it. So harass them, and we really need to demand better customer service, because there's literally no reason why a company this big couldn't do better. Like, I'm not expecting them to do amazing, because obviously they get a lot of reports, but there literally isn't even an easy means of contacting them at this point, and it's been like that for years, and it's time that it changes, because from everything from being hacked to copyright disputes, it's like impossible to get through to an actual person if they ever accidentally tag your account with something that isn't correct. And if you dispute it, sometimes the review lasts years. I disputed a copyright on one of my videos that I knew had no copyrighted content in it, and it's still in review 3 years later. So yeah, like, there just needs to be an easier means to be contacted. It really is not a big ask for that to happen, and it would help a lot of people save their very like sentimental photos that they might have on Google Drive, as well as email contacts, because even just the loss of contacts through email is hard if you don't have them memorized or backed up somewhere else. So anyways, that's my rant for the day. I'm gonna stop now because I'm running my mouth a lot, and yeah, so don't trust Google to keep your stuff safe, and don't trust them to provide you with good customer service if anything ever happens, because it apparently, even for like people with 1 million followers, not the top of the top, just kind of the middle ground for money earners, those people have had to do the same thing I did and harass them for days and weeks at a time to get their accounts back. They only care about the top of the top earners, apparently. And it should never be a situation where you can't get customer service unless you get thousands of people to tag the company on Twitter. Like, that is abysmal. So YouTube, get it together. If I don't get my account back, you can best bet that I'm not going to shut up about this. And I will try to start contacting news stations locally as well to talk about it if this doesn't get dealt with, because I have a loud ass mouth and I'm pissed off. So cheers, guys. Thank you for watching, and thanks to everyone who has tagged like YouTube and everything and like has tried to help me out by saving videos and stuff. I really appreciate all of that. I'm hoping that this will get dealt with better. I'm really disappointed in how poorly it has been dealt with so far by YouTube and Google, but I'll keep you guys posted. And yeah, I'll let you know if anything comes out of it.